No, I'm not an American. I'm one of the 22 million black people who are the victims of Americanism. One of the 22 million black people who are victims of democracy. Nothing but disguised hypocrisy. So, I'm not standing here speaking to you as an American. Or a patriot. Or a flag saluter or a flag waver. No. Not I. I'm speaking as a victim of this American system. And I see America through the eyes of the victim. I don't see an American dream. I see an American nightmare.
Back when I lived in my island, back when the night was safe, Mommy would tell me stories. So many stories. She told me of caciques so open and trusting, of the mighty conquistador bringing order to the world, and of how the orishas started all life back in Africa. Were born of Taino artists, Spanish warriors, and African royalty, she'd say. So many, many stories. Then the world opened and school became a painful necessity. I had to learn what they taught me. I had to read their books. The stories in them. So many stories. The Tainos weren't strong enough. They simply were not strong enough. So the conquistadores, bringing order to the world, brought in the hardworking negro. I saw the pictures on the textbooks. Every mean nun in the world shoved those books in our young faces. And so I saw the drawings, so many drawings up close, all the drawings of sickly natives, of masters bright, white, towering over them, and over muscled and bound dark slaves. I didn't have the words, but none of it never sat right with me. Because I wanted to believe Mommy. I needed to believe Mommy. But where was the art? Where were the crowns? Where was the order? The pictures, their colors were so bright. Features exaggerated on all. The colors were so bright. Such contrast. The sun painted bright, always bright. Nothing ever happened at nighttime. Not in those drawings. I look back sometimes, try to shake the memory of Sister Karina off of me. It's the meanest nun of them all. And I wonder if any of them, the subjects in those drawings, the artists, the warriors, the royalty I was born from, I wonder if they ever found safety in the night.
The beginnings of this country have nothing to do with the myths we have created about it. The country did not come about because a handful of people in Europe said, "I want to be free," and promptly built a boat or a raft and crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Not at all. Not at all. The people who settled the country, the people who came here, and came here for one reason, no matter how disguised, they came here because they thought it would be better than where they were. That's why they came, and that's the only reason that they came. Anybody who was making it in England did not get on the Mayflower. This is important. It is important that one begin to recognize this, because part of the dilemma of this country is that it has managed to believe the myths it has created about its own past, which is another way of saying that it entirely denies its past. We did several things in order to conquer the country. There was, at the point we reached these shores, a group of people who had never heard of machines, so far as I know, or of money, and we promptly eliminated them. We killed them. I'm talking about the Indians. I'll bet you, as we say in Harlem, that there are not many American children being taught American history who have any real sense of what that collision was like, or what we really did, and how we really achieved the extermination of the Indians, or what that meant. And it is interesting to consider that there are very few social critics, none to my knowledge, but I say very few, who have begun to analyze the hidden reasons the cowboy Indian legend is still one of the most popular legends in American life. So popular that it still, in 1963, dominates the television screen. And I suppose that all those cowboy Indian stories are designed to reassure us that no crime was committed. We have made a legend out of a massacre. Now, slavery, like murder, is one of the oldest human institutions. So we cannot quarrel about the fact of slavery. That is to say, we could, but that's another story. But we enslaved him because in order to conquer the country, we have to have cheap labor. And the man who is now known as the American Negro, who is one of the oldest of American citizens, and the only one who never wanted to come here, did the dirty work. Hoed the cotton. Do you hoe cotton? No? Chopped the cotton. Whatever you do with cotton. Picked cotton. Lined track. Helped, in fact, I think is not too strong. It is not too strong for me to say. Let me put it this way. Without his presence, without that strong back, the American economy, the American nation, would have had a vast amount of trouble creating its capital. If one did not have the captive toting the barge and lifting the bale, as they put it, it would be a very different country, and it would certainly be much poorer. But the people I'm speaking of who settled the country had a fatal flaw. They could recognize a man when they saw one. They knew he wasn't, you can tell they knew he wasn't anything else but a man. But since they were Christian, and since they had already decided that they came here to establish a free country, the only way to justify the role this chattel was playing in one's life was to say that he was not a man. Because if he wasn't a man, then no crime had been committed. That lie is the basis of our present trouble. Because that is an extremely complex lie. If on the one hand, man cannot avoid recognizing another man, it is also true then, obviously, that the man, the black man, who was in captivity and treated like an animal and told that he was one, knew that he was a man and knew that something was wrong. I prefer to believe that if the society is created by men, it can be remade by men. The price for this transformation is high. Every white citizen of this country will have to accept the fact that he is not innocent, and that those dogs and those hoses, those crimes are being committed in your name.
Radars is buzzing. Radars is buzzing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Today, I just want to be feeling safe. Like when my grown-ass sisters go outside, I ain't got to tell them be safe. I be worried that every time the news says there's been a new shooting, I be checking my call logs. I be worried that my son decided he want to go to the park and play robbers. I be scared the real cops are going to show up. I be worried that my daughter's love for gymnastics will lead to the stripping of her innocence. I be worried that my husband sitting on his couch watching his TV in his house might be the next victim of a trigger knocking. I be worried, thinking at Kroger's, do I need bread, butter, bananas? Do I have enough strength to run from bullets? So I be anxious, like the fires in a pit of my belly might kill me if I don't release. Be free like the words lodged in my throat. Be hostage, my tongue the gunman. The only threat is in my tone. So I be alone. 'Cause your riot is not mine. I've been rioting inside like a minstrel. So I be bloody. We in a citywide gangbang. Our kids only know 2 colors of the color wheel, so I don't want to hear how many black folk you know. I don't want to sit in the liquor store. I don't want to taste, smell, or feel your colorism, overcompensation, or your pitch for the plight of brown bodies. 'Cause see, I be disgusted that all lives matter except the black ones, and that's the black ones to the black ones. So I pray to the rain, ask to come down, wash out the white chalk of our etched out cousins and skin. 'Cause I ain't doing well. But I'm done. And I'm done. But I ain't doing well. And not until I'm seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling safe.